Hello everyone and welcome back to the Virtual Jewish Cookbook. I'm your host, Chef Brian Stepp, and on today's episode I'm going to be showing you the most amazing, simple to put together spread. We're going to be making Matbucha. Matbucha is a tomato pepper spread that is, served in pretty much all the table spreads that you'll see across, Israel, and it is really, paired well with any meat, paired well with hummus, goes well with, feta and all that stuff. So it's a great spread and it's a great recipe to have in your arsenal to be able to pull out whenever you're going on a picnic, if you're doing a lunch, you're having family over for dinner, whatever it may be. Let me show you how simple it is with a couple of those chef tricks that I have up my sleeve. So for this recipe, you're gonna need 1 pepper. You're gonna need a can of fire roasted tomatoes. If you don't have a can of fire roasted tomatoes, you will need about 6 Roma tomatoes. And you're gonna wanna put a good amount of char on them. But this is a great chef hack to have up your sleeve. Not all tomato in a can are created equal. These are coming from California. They're fire roasted and they're packed in ripe peak freshness. So you are really getting a superb product there. You're gonna need 1 onion. Depending on your onion size, if it's a little bigger than this, you can use a little bit less. If you like more onion, go ahead and add a little bit more. A little bit of cumin, so I would say about a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of coriander, and then depending on how much garlic you like, I like it very garlicky, but I would start off by adding 1 clove of garlic. Then you're gonna need some pepper and chili flakes and salt to season it, and olive oil to finish it, and we're gonna be using cooking oil to saute the onions and peppers. So all we're really gonna need to do for this recipe is cut the peppers into stripes and then dice the onion and saute this, slice the garlic, mingle it all together, and then add the tomato and stew it for 20 minutes. So let's get through the chopping. So to start off, we're just gonna cut our onion in half and then we're gonna just dice it. Now everything is pretty much gonna get sauteed and mingled together and become more or less like a stewy consistency. So don't worry too much about your knife skills on this part. Okay, so 1 onion diced. Okay, and then for the pepper, what we can do is just slice the ends off. Okay, and then you're gonna start, and then you're gonna cut the ribs out of the pepper. Okay, and we're not gonna use that. This is good to go, this is good to go, and the ribs are cut out. We're just gonna thinly slice this. And that's it. That's how simple this recipe is because we're using such awesome fire roasted tomatoes in a can that's gonna cut our cutting time, prep time, and cooking time in half. So we got our peppers ready. Now we're ready to go saute. Let's move on to that. So to start off, we're gonna be using a cast iron. The cast iron is gonna retain a lot more even heat distribution throughout this cooking process. That's why I prefer to cook any stews or any spreads or anything like that in a cast iron. We're gonna go ahead and preheat it to medium high. Once we're ready to go, which this is, we're gonna add a good amount of oil to saute our veggies. So we're gonna start off with adding the onions. And we're not worried about adding too much color, but at the same time, we still wanna break this down a little bit. So once our onions started to mingle in here, we can go ahead and right away add our peppers. Get those coated in the oil and cooking and sweating down a little bit. Now we're gonna cook this down for about 5 minutes and we'll check back in. So after about 5 minutes of cooking on medium-high heat, we are gonna start seeing a little bit of color on the onions and peppers, but basically what we're looking for is that everything's broken down, everything is nice and soft, and we can go ahead and saute our garlic in now. So I went ahead and chopped 2 cloves of garlic thinly, and that's how I like them. If you like it more minced and hidden in there, just more for flavor, you can definitely go ahead and mince it in there. And with garlic, you just want to cook it down very, very little bit because it burns really fast and then it gets a really, not so pleasant taste. So once our garlic's in there, it's had enough time to just kind of get heated through and mingle in with the oil and peppers and onions. We're ready to add our fire roasted tomatoes. You know what I like to do is rinse the can out with just a little bit of water. Just like that. We can go ahead and add our cumin and our coriander. Season with salt. Add a little bit of chili flakes, depending on how much heat you like. And a good amount of black pepper. Good. Now we're gonna stir all this. We're gonna simmer this on low just until the water has evaporated. And it should become a little bit thicker as well as the water is gonna start evaporating. And that's how easy that is. And this is so good with some hummus, some fresh baked pitas. This is good with, fetas or salads. Like I said, this is an amazing spread to have, and it's so quick to put together. I'll check back in with you in 20 minutes. So after about 20 minutes of simmering, we're gonna be able to see that the water evaporated. We have a really concentrated flavor, and it's a much thicker product. So this is perfect consistency for the spread. To go ahead and finish it off, we're just gonna add a tablespoon of good oil. That's gonna help give it a little bit more shelf life. It's also gonna mellow all the flavors out and kind of let them mingle together. And that's it. There you have it. We just made super simple matbucha at home. 20 minutes of simmering and really all about in 10 minutes of prep to putting this awesome recipe. And it could sit in the fridge for up to a week comfortably. And it's just so delicious, and it's an amazing spread. Let's go ahead and give it a try before we transfer it. Oh yeah, delicious. So sweet. It's got earthy tones. Wow, just perfect overall. Definitely check out this recipe. Go ahead, give it a try. Make sure to share any of the recipes that you do use and how they look and came out for you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, as we got more videos coming for you guys. All we're gonna do now is just transfer this into the bowl, and we're gonna reserve it for dinner tonight. And there you have it. That's how you make super simple matbucha at home. It's super delicious. It's an amazing spread and condiment to put out on the dinner table, and everybody's gonna be saying lots of great things about it. So try this recipe out. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe. You guys have a good evening.